Morning, Rio.
Morning, Rio.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, good. What are you up to at the moment then?
Flying around the world, meeting loads of footballers and loads of fans. It's been great, I'll be honest with you. Obviously, I've been immersed in media with you guys, a different format, obviously with TNT. I've kind of moved away from that now and kind of going with my own media company, Rio Presents, and just taking that around the world. This game, you don't know it better than anyone. It's a global game, and
Yeah.
I was in New York and Chicago last week with a Man United team on tour, and it's just like the fanfare there is ridiculous, much more than when I used to go as a player. It's grown even more. You can see the game, and just I'm going to be doing that all season, going around the world, going to loads of different clubs, meeting loads of players, interviewing players. Got loads of stuff in the pipe coming out. Harry Maguire interview popping out.
Great.
Rooney interview. So yeah, we can't wait.
And because it's your own channel, Rio, there's certain stuff, look, when you're with a broadcaster, there's certain stuff you can do, you can't do. They won't allow you to, they don't want you to do.
Yeah.
For you now, your own entity, your own you can, when you get in front of these people,
Restrictions are gone.
they're all gone, aren't they?
Yeah. And you can be a little bit more bolshy. You can, like you say, there isn't like a corporation behind you that they've got to answer a lot of questions, and you've got to tiptoe sometimes around certain people or topics. So this is going to be a lot more free, a lot more kind of off the cuff. And again, I think when you're talking to players, managers, people that run football clubs, the inner workings of a club, being that little bit more authentic and having that ability to kind of move about a bit more freely, I think it definitely shows off when you're doing it.
Do you know, Jeff, Howard Stern, right? Howard Stern, a very famous jockey, disc jockey in the States, you know, he took that kind of attitude with a lot of the people from the acting world and the music business with his interviews. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of his stuff, Rio, from yesterday. You know, some of it is really near the mark, and
crazy.
But it's that sort of thing. It's all of a sudden going down, scratching the surface, going down a completely different road. You know, so I get it. Yeah.
Well, let's talk Manchester United. You've been around the Manchester United squad, obviously, then. And I sense from the outside that there's a lot more optimism about Manchester United this season. Is that the impression you get?
Yeah, definitely. I think that what I found when I went on tour, I was living and breathing with them for a bit. I live in the same hotel, going and watching training. There was a togetherness there that I haven't felt for a while. There's a message that's being drilled in from the hierarchy all the way through the staff to the players of a work ethic, as a togetherness. I see them that they're moving around in groups. They've got the boys there. That's an important thing. You know what it's like when you're on tour. These tours, this is one thing that I got from the tour, is that you could see why Amorim didn't want to go during the middle of the season, because the tour and pre-season is so important. Being on the grass, getting your message across is one, but the togetherness, being together in hotels for 2.5, 3 weeks is such a huge important factor in terms of building relationships, seeing what people are like in different scenarios, so you can then adjust the way you approach people. He will know these players better in the last 2 or 3 weeks than he has, I think, for the rest of the whole of last season. He will know people in a much more personable way, in that he can attack and approach people in a way because he's seen and worked with them closely and knows them better as human beings. And I think I'm interested to see how that then pans out in the season. The problem you've got, if you look at the fixture list, Man United's fixture list is horrendous. The first 6 games, it's tough.
Very tough.
So all this good work that we're seeing and we're hearing about and coming out at the club, and that, what I saw, could be undone within the first 6 games if it doesn't go well. So that's going to be an important factor. The two have to marry up. You can't have one and then the results don't follow. You need both of them to kind of marry up, and then you can say, you know what, actually, Man United are in a better place, and I can see the benefits of the pre-season and the work on the grass.
You know how heavy that shirt is, Rio, putting the red on at Old Trafford. What you saw of Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, those sort of guys, do you think they'll be able to hack it? Because I've seen a lot of people turn up at Old Trafford in recent seasons, and you're just looking at me thinking, it's a bit too big for you, this one, I'm afraid. What about those boys? I mean, there's a lot of money been spent on them. There's a lot of optimism around them. Do you think they will be able to, knowing what you know?
Well, I spent a bit of time with Cunha. His character and personality suggests to me that he will embrace it.
Right.
Very confident kid. Free going, that Brazilian, I'm here, I'm going to show you what I got vibe, which was pleasing to see that. But we got to have patience and see. But Mbeumo interested me a lot. There's a serious side to him. There's a professionalism there that will enhance the environment. I think he works his balls off on and off the pitch, but off the pitch he's got a team he's built around him, a nutritionist, a S&C coach, a chef, etc.
Wow.
A real detailed approach to it. So, and he's shown he can score. He's been here 6 years. He's shown he can score goals. So those two, I think, are going to definitely add a positive streak to the club. But listen, you got to wait for the games. We interviewed Mbeumo for his first interview for my channel, which was great. And when you get that detail and that closeness of him, it was a real positive feeling I got from him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's absolutely brilliant, wasn't he, for Brentford? It's a very different beast, we know.
Yeah.
You know, playing for Brentford and playing for Manchester United. You talk about the groups and the good feeling amongst them all and the such like. Is that why Amorim was so determined that he wouldn't be taking the so-called bomb squad with him on this tour?
Well, I think the squad's environment and culture is more important than any individual. And I think that the whole club seems to have bought into that now. It was interesting to see what Luke Shaw said the other day. You see his quotes saying that we've not got the stragglers around anymore. And that was like, I thought, whoa, that's a strong statement to say that. But I think that only gets said when you can see positive change within the club. And I think that's where they're at now. And I think Amorim's been very blunt and blatant. And we always ask for players and managers to be transparent and give us, come on, tell us the truth. He's doing that. And one of the main things that comes out of his mouth consistently is, if you're not going to work hard and produce what I'm asking of you in terms of just output, forget quality, just output of effort, etc., you ain't going to play for me.
Because you look at all those players. You all know. I mean, Garnacho, we all know Garnacho can play. Sancho, all know he can play. Marcus Rashford, all know he can play.
Talent, all of them.
Yeah.
But if he's what he's basically said is, if you're not going to graft and run for me, you ain't playing. And those four players, or your attitude isn't where I need it to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think do they? Is there any fear? Do they fear Amorim? Do you not think, Rio, when you was working under Fergie, the best managers you play for, there's a little bit in there where you're wary of them a little bit? I find Ruben Amorim really personable, really open. Yeah, all that's great. Does he need to have that little bit of something else?
Yeah, but that don't come day one.
No,
that can't come day one. Like, not that he's come from, with all due respect, from Sporting Lisbon, so it's a great club in Portugal. Yeah. But in terms of stature in Europe and worldwide, it isn't the Man United. So to come, like I said again, you can't create that fear. You can create a respect immediately, like I think he's doing now. He stands by his word. He said, if you don't do this, you're not going to play. He's showing that and proving that. But to get the fear factor, you got to win. You got to win. You got to show that you can win. Yeah. Then the belief comes, I'm going to follow this geezer. It's like Sir Alex Ferguson. I was following that guy blind. Yeah. But that's on the back of 20 odd years of winning. So it's quite easy for him to do that and get players buying in immediately. This guy's got to build back. It's an enormous task. Do you know what I mean? And to do that, to get that fear factor immediately is difficult because it's been shattered in the last 12 years.
That's very true.
Yeah. How long will they give him? Because football is such an impatient blooming business, isn't it? You know, he knows. He said when he went into Sporting Lisbon, didn't happen straight away. Yeah. Took him time. I mean, they've got to give him time, haven't they?
I think that's an important point, Jeff. You hit the nail on the head there, time. But we're not afforded that in this game, no matter what role you're playing. But you have to look at his previous work. It didn't happen overnight at Sporting, but when he got it right, they blew Benfica and Porto out of the water, and that's not an easy thing to do in Portugal because they're the two dominant forces. You've got to give this guy time. Again, this is only, I think how many players has he brought in? 3 players. Yeah, that were his own players. Yeah. So he hasn't even had his own. This isn't. There's no identity of his players in this squad yet. No. I think he needs a time to get to that. The next window, I think it should be go blind, and he just goes to that window at least, gets that window, gets to invest again, unless it's actually catastrophic by that point. But give him a chance to get to that window, some more players in, and then you can start saying this looks like an Amorim squad. Now, how are they doing?
Yeah. I'm intrigued, Rio, in so many ways for Manchester United. Obviously there's a lot of emphasis on the coach. As I said, he seems a really nice open guy. He does. Defensively, the two boys we spoke about, they've added up front. There's even talk of a striker maybe. At the back, are you seeing enough there in order to let those forward boys flourish?
I think you can pick holes in individuals, But I think the most important thing is how the team function. The team weren't fit enough to play an Amorim style of football last year. I think they're hitting that in pre-season to get them fitter. You can see signs of that already, but they've got to understanding what he wants as individuals, but as a collective is vitally important. So whatever you can do individually, yes, we can pick at that, but the squad wasn't working, the team shape wasn't working last year, and then that leaves players individually open to get exposed. And for instance, transitions. Man United were getting hit on transitions all the time last season. They haven't actually got the profile of player to deal with that.
No.
There's no athleticism centre in midfield.
Correct.
There's no athleticism in centre. It's De Ligt and Harry Maguire. Euro, yes, is athletic, but again, 19 adjusting.
Kid, yeah.
Heaven adjusting, young kid as well, inexperienced. So you need to have the team functioning to help those individuals. And I think that's what I'm hoping the pre-season that Amorim's had with his team to really implement all these ideas into this squad to do that.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.